Having got married in September of 1976 after my first cruise, my new bride, Jean, and I shipped our chartreuse Volkswagen convertible to Europe, and she was to meet me and the Saratoga in Naples. Back to 1977 and my second cruise of 3 on the Sarah. The anecdotes of Jean and her passengers, my sister Maggie and another squadron wife Rose, were enough to fill a channel on its own. Highlights included their first day trying to find the Vesuvio Hotel in Naples, where I had made reservations. They were sent to the peak of Mount Vesuvius, where they discovered there was no hotel. Next was the night in Genoa, sleeping in the car with scissors at the ready. They were abruptly wakened by a native Genovese woman who was hysterical over the death of Elvis Presley, August 16, 1977. Then there was the drive through Hungary with radio checkpoints apparently transmitting their progress. The few cars in Hungary were white, and a chartreuse Volkswagen convertible with 2 chicks was very curious. While staying in a pension in Budapest, one of them blew out the electricity when plugging in hair curlers. Then there was the busload of an Italian soccer team that passed them on the road, displaying a full side of windows that mooned them. When the ship outchopped to return stateside in December 1977, I had requested and been approved for 30 days leave to stay behind with Jean and the car. First on our tour was a ski package in Andorra, a quaint independent country on the mountainous border between Spain and France. Lo and behold, this was the first season in 17 years that there was no snow. Boo. Now imagine my consternation in figuring out how to wrest a refund. I don't remember the details, but I do recall some haggling over the phone, then driving to Barcelona. Mission accomplished, we drove to Paris. Upon arriving in city central Paris, we found the USO, which was a godsend. The USI guy totally knew the city and put us onto a splendid pension where we parked the car curbside for 3 days and rode around the city on the subway. One of the trips was to the U.S. Embassy, where we bought 2 bottles of duty-free Dom Perignon, one for my parents and one for my grandparents. Imagine lugging that around in a suitcase. Paris was a blast. One night we hit the Crazy Horse Saloon, famous cabaret strip club that has an RCMP Mountie at the door. Inside, we were seated center stage on bar stools with a bucket of champagne on ice. At showtime, things had filled up SRO in front of us, and our waiter, Guy, picked us up by the shoulders and set us down on top of the bar. Best seats in the house. I had known from Sunday night's Ed Sullivan show that one of his regulars, ventriloquist Senior Wences, was part of the Crazy Horse Cabaret. He appeared, and the whole show was in English. Get that?
How is your throat today? No, good. No, so. Oh, this is nothing. No, listen to me. Follow me. Let me see one thing. Do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do. Good. You can read for a while because I have many things to do. Sure, don't worry for that. No. I remember you very well. Sure. Hello, my friend. No. Not yet? No. Are you tired? No? Okay? It's all right.
When it came time to move on, we went out to our car curbside to find merely inches between the front and rear bumpers, such that it would be impossible to work our way out of the spot. Knowing a little French, I was able to ask some passers-by to help me lift and work the rear of the car and then the front of the car sideways to get it out. I always found that the French warmed up to an American who attempts to speak their language rather than expect that they will know English. We managed to drop the car off in Le Havre and catch a ferry to Southampton and on to London by train. We found a well-situated B&B from which to venture on several junkets. Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, Tower Bridge, Buckingham Palace, and Simpsons on the Strand. Simpsons deserves special mention since when we arrived, I was wearing a navy blue cashmere overcoat, and for gentlemen, a jacket is required. So I removed the $300 cashmere coat to don an off-white linen jacket. Ah! The menus were heavy stock placemats, and we captured 8 of them to restore in the States. We ended up spending Christmas in visiting officer quarters at the U.S. Air Force Base in Mildenhall, where frequent MAC flights depart for stateside. Accommodations on the flight were crude, or having to share an aisle with several transport coffins, but the price was right, free or almost free. Now back stateside with a third cruise ahead of us, for which I had extended my tour with VF-103, we embarked on the next phase of our life, that of starting a family.